Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's son, Mojtaba Ali Khamenei, has been appointed Iran's new supreme leader by the Assembly of Experts, Iranian state media reported. In a post on X, Press TV said, Iran's Assembly of Experts has appointed Ayatollah Sayyed Mojtaba Khamenei as the new leader of the Islamic Republic. Mojtaba Khamenei is the second oldest son of Ali Khamenei. Israeli media describe Mojtaba as having a more hardline position than his father and being behind the violent crackdowns on protesters in Iran. In November 2019, the U.S. Treasury Department issued sanctions against Mojtaba. He was designated for representing the then supreme leader in an official capacity, despite never being elected or appointed to a government position. It had also been reported that Mojtaba Khamenei has access to luxury properties in London and accounts in the UK, Switzerland, and Liechtenstein.
Noble people of Iran, free people of the world, devotees of the Islamic Revolution of Iran and the great Khomeini, followers of the martyred Imam, Grand Ayatollah Khamenei, honorable people of Iran, the new leader of the Islamic Revolution has been appointed and introduced by the Assembly of Experts for Leadership. In the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful, noble and free people of Islamic Iran, may God's peace and blessings be upon you. The Assembly of Experts for Leadership, while expressing condolences on the martyrdom of the great leader, Grand Ayatollah Imam Khamenei, may God sanctify his pure soul, as well as the other esteemed martyrs, especially the high-ranking and self-sacrificing commanders of the armed forces and the students of the Shajar-e-Tayyibeh school in Minab County, and while condemning the savage aggression of the criminal America and the vile Zionist regime, hereby informs you that this assembly, immediately after the news of the martyrdom and heavenly ascension of the wise and prudent leader of the Islamic Revolution, was announced, despite the critical wartime conditions and direct threats from the enemies against this popular institution, and the bombing of the Secretariat offices of the Assembly of Experts for Leadership, which resulted in the martyrdom of several staff members, and the security team did not hesitate for a moment in the process of selecting and introducing the leadership of the Islamic system, in accordance with the duties outlined in the Constitution and the internal regulations of the Assembly of Experts. The necessary measures and arrangements for holding an extraordinary session and introducing the new leader were put on the agenda. Therefore, appropriate planning and necessary coordination were carried out to gather the honorable representatives of this assembly from across the country, so that despite the intelligent provisions anticipated in Article 111 of the Constitution for the formation of a temporary council, the country would not face a leadership vacuum. The Assembly of Experts for Leadership, while honoring the exalted status of the guardianship of the Islamic jurist, Velayat-e-Faqih, during the occultation of His Holiness the Promised Mahdi, may God hasten his reappearance, and recognizing the importance of leadership in the Islamic Republic system, pays tribute to 47 years of wise governance based on the principles of dignity, independence, and authority by the two Imams of the Revolution. In commemorating those divine and popular leaders, the Assembly hereby announces that, after thorough and extensive deliberations and utilizing the provisions of Article 108 of the Constitution, and in accordance with its religious duty and belief in standing before Almighty God, in today's extraordinary session, Ayatollah Sayyed Mojtaba Khamenei, may God protect him, has been chosen and introduced by the decisive vote of the honorable representatives of the Assembly of Experts as the third leader of the sacred system of the Islamic Republic of Iran. In conclusion, while expressing gratitude to the members of the Temporary Council established under Article 111 of the Constitution, the Assembly invites all the noble people of Iran, especially the intellectuals and scholars of the seminaries and universities, to pledge allegiance to the leadership and to maintain unity around the axis of the guardianship. It also beseeches the continued grace and favor of the Almighty upon this country and its great people from His divine presence. And peace and God's mercy and blessings be upon you. The Assembly of Experts for Leadership, 17th of Esfand, 1404 Persian calendar. God is the greatest, Khamenei is the leader.
The development comes after U.S. President Donald Trump on Thursday expressed his desire to be personally involved in selecting Iran's next supreme leader following the death of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei in a U.S.-Israel joint military strike last week, as reported by Axios.
Iran faces an uncertain power transition after the death of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei in a major regional escalation. The crisis deepened as U.S. President Donald Trump said Washington must help decide who leads Iran next. Trump reportedly said that the United States must play a direct role in choosing Iran's next leader after the death of Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. Trump said Washington would not accept a leadership transition that simply keeps power within the Khamenei family. He specifically rejected the possibility of Mojtaba Khamenei, the late leader's son, becoming Iran's next supreme leader. Trump described Mojtaba as a lightweight and said such an outcome would be unacceptable for the United States. The U.S. president argued Iran now needs leadership capable of bringing stability and peace to the region. The comments come as tensions soar following a joint U.S.-Israel strike that killed Khamenei and other senior figures. His remarks signal an extraordinary claim of influence over Iran's political future by Washington. The statement also raises new questions about the true goals of the U.S. military campaign against Iran. U.S. officials had previously insisted that the operation was not aimed at regime change in Tehran. However, Trump's comments suggest Washington may seek a broader political transformation inside Iran. Iranian leaders have not yet formally announced a successor to Ali Khamenei.
And before we begin, I think I will say a few words about what's going on with respect to our operation in the country of Iran. The United States military, together with the wonderful Israeli partners, continues to totally demolish the enemy far ahead of schedule and at levels that people have never seen before, actually. We're destroying more of Iran's missiles and drone capability every single hour, knocking them out like nobody thought was possible. As soon as they set off a missile, within 4 minutes, the launcher gets hit. They don't know what's happening. But we have the greatest military anywhere in the world. Their Navy is gone. 24 ships in 3 days. That's a lot of ships. Their anti-aircraft weapons are gone. So they have no air force. They have no air defense. All of their airplanes are gone. Their communications are gone. Missiles are gone. Launches are gone. About 60% and 64% respectively. Other than that, they're doing quite well. I said, what's left? But they're tough, and they want to fight. And they're calling, they're saying, how do we make a deal? I said, you're being a little bit late, and we want to fight now more than they do. We've had 47 years, depending on the way you count it, but 47 years of horror with this group. And, you know, when you see somebody walking down the street without their legs, without the arms, whose face is so badly affected and hurt, it mostly came from 95% Soleimani and Iran, and we, other presidents, lived with it. I didn't live with it. And so our people are doing a great job. Again, the greatest military anyone's seen. Thank you. Thank you very much. And yesterday, my administration announced decisive action to help keep down the oil prices, including offering political risk insurance for tankers transiting into the Gulf, as you know, pretty dangerous territory. Further action to reduce pressure on oil is imminent, and the oil seems to have pretty much stabilized. We had it very low, but I had to take this little detour, if it's okay with everybody. Scott, it's okay with you? Scott's the one who has to put up with it. He said, you have to do this now? I said, I have to do it, Scott, right? But it's been very strong, and everybody, including Scott, everybody feels we had really no choice. They were going to hit us if we didn't hit them, because they're crazy. And in the long term, the actions we're taking will dramatically increase the stability of the region and oil prices and stock markets and everything else. You know, we set the all-time record in history with the Dow going to 50,000. So Dow was at 50,000. It was supposed to be maybe, if we were lucky, within, by the end of my presidency in 4 years. And we did it in my first year. We did the S&P 500. We did that in a period of less than a year. And that was even tougher than the Dow, they said, so it wasn't going to happen. But we have a great country. We have a country that's never done this well. We've had tremendous success in so many different ways. I built the military and rebuilt it in my first term, and we're using it more than I'd like to use it, to be honest with you. But when we used it, we found out it certainly did work. When we look at Venezuela, when we look at the first attack, Midnight Hammer, in Iran, which really set the stage for what we're doing right now. It's been pretty amazing. And I'm once again calling on all members of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, the military and the police, to lay down their arms. They're only going to be killed. And now is the time to stand up for the Iranian people and help take back your country. You're going to have a chance after all these years to take back your country. Accept immunity. We'll give you immunity. And we'll be giving you really the right side of history, because that's what it is. So you'll be perfectly safe with total immunity, or you'll face absolutely guaranteed death. And I don't want to see that. They don't want to see it either. We also urge Iranian diplomats around the world to request asylum and to help us shape a new and better Iran with great potential. It's a country with great potential. There's much better future for Iran. It's now beginning. It's going to be, I think, a great future. And the United States will ensure that whoever leads the country next, Iran will not threaten America or its neighbors, Israel, anybody. If you look at what happened, they had missiles aimed at all of these other countries, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, many others that weren't really involved very much, and they had missiles aimed. Well, they were aimed there long before this ever started. They were going after the entire Middle East. And then we came along. We blew up their party. So we have phenomenal people. I want to thank all of the people that have been involved. Marco, you've been doing a fantastic job.